Have you ever found yourself feeling frustrated in a relationship, convinced that the real problem lies in what the other person is doing or not doing? Maybe it's a partner who doesn't listen, a friend who keeps bringing up the same issues, or a colleague who seems impossible to connect with. These situations often leave us thinking, if only they could change, things would be so much better. But what if that focus on them is exactly what's keeping you stuck? In this video, you'll learn how shifting responsibility to yourself can subtly transform your relationships, why identifying emotional and thought loops can clarify recurring issues, the power of your internal state and how others unconsciously react to it, and how training new emotional responses can create healthier relationship dynamics. It's easy to place the responsibility for relationship issues on the other person. After all, it's often their behavior, words, or attitudes that seem to be the problem. But here's where a profound opportunity lies. What if by taking responsibility for your own actions and reactions, you could influence the relationship in ways you never thought possible? Taking self-responsibility doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior or taking blame for things beyond your control. Instead, it's about acknowledging that you have agency over your part in the dynamic. When you bring more self-awareness into the mix, your own behavior shifts in ways that can have a surprising impact on others, often without any direct intervention. This isn't about forcing someone else to change, but about realizing the quiet power you hold by leading with your own example. In relationships, your ability to stay grounded, aware, and intentional can ripple outward, inviting positive change from within. Have you noticed that certain emotions like irritation, worry, or even anger tend to show up regularly around specific people or in specific situations? These emotional reactions are rarely isolated. They're often part of a larger pattern. Emotions fuel certain thoughts, which in turn influence how you respond or act. For example, feeling anxious around a friend might lead you to interpret their comments as judgmental, whether or not they intended it that way. Before long, a loop forms. The emotion leads to a thought, the thought reinforces the emotion, and so on. When you bring awareness to these patterns, you can begin to see how your emotions and thoughts might be creating stress or tension. Understanding these loops is like uncovering a hidden map of your relationships. It gives you clarity and insight, making it easier to decide how you want to navigate these dynamics, either by shifting your perspective or by choosing more intentional responses that align with what you genuinely want from the relationship. It's a fascinating and often overlooked truth. Others can feel our energy. This happens on a level beyond conscious awareness through something called mirror neurons. These neurons are part of what makes human connection so strong. They cause people to mirror the emotions and energy of those around them. So when you enter a conversation with a sense of calm, positivity, or openness, the other person unconsciously picks up on it. Conversely, if you carry frustration or resentment, they're likely to sense and react to it. This dynamic doesn't mean you should ignore genuine feelings or force a false sense of positivity. It's more about understanding that the energy you bring is part of the interaction. When you're intentional about showing up with an energy that reflects the outcome you'd like to see, others are more likely to meet you there. This opens up a new level of connection, one where the focus shifts from reaction to conscious engagement. Changing your internal state may sound abstract, but it has a profound effect on how you connect with others. When you choose to feel calm, grounded, or even curious, you approach relationships from a place of empowerment rather than defensiveness or frustration. This can be especially powerful in challenging relationships where emotions tend to run high. Instead of getting caught in reactive cycles, you can show up with an open heart and mind, genuinely interested in what's happening beneath the surface. When you shift your internal state intentionally, interactions feel more natural, and you're more likely to engage from a place of authenticity. Rather than guarding yourself or putting on a facade, you feel free to connect as you truly are. This authenticity has a way of disarming others, making it easier to find common ground or even reach new levels of understanding and trust, even in the most strained relationships. Change isn't something that happens overnight. While these insights might resonate, real transformation comes through practice and commitment. Think of it as training a new emotional response, one that allows you to show up differently in relationships. Whether that means being more patient, calm, or open, it requires ongoing effort to reshape your patterns. Imagine training yourself to respond with calm curiosity instead of frustration when your partner brings up a recurring issue. This doesn't mean the frustration is gone entirely, but by practicing a different response, you gradually rewire your emotional patterns. This shift can have a profound impact both on how you experience the relationship and how others experience you. Training new responses over time builds a more solid foundation for all your interactions, allowing healthier, more fulfilling dynamics to emerge. One of the most empowering shifts you can make in any relationship is to choose how you experience it, independent of how others act. Rather than feeling at the mercy of someone's moods, words, or behavior, you can decide how you want to feel and act. This doesn't mean ignoring red flags or tolerating mistreatment, but rather recognizing that your experience is yours to shape. When you own your experience, you're free to make choices that align with your values, priorities, and sense of peace. You're no longer reacting to others, but responding from a place of clarity and intention. This perspective shift allows you to navigate relationships with a sense of calm and empowerment. It also gives you the clarity to see whether a relationship truly fits your life, or if it's time to move on, not out of frustration, but from a place of self-respect and peace. The reality is meaningful change takes time. The techniques and tools you choose to integrate into your life, whether mindfulness practices, emotional awareness exercises, or reflection techniques, can support these shifts over the long term. Real growth is about consistency in training new emotional and mental patterns. With ongoing practice, you'll find that your resilience, inner calm, and capacity for constructive engagement deepen, creating a more fulfilling relational experience. Understanding these dynamics within relationships can bring a deep sense of calm, allowing you to choose whether to transform the relationship from within or make a conscious decision to step away. Either way, you're operating from a place of clarity and empowerment rather than frustration. If you're interested in deepening your self-awareness and emotional training, the Inner Foundation series offers guided practices to help you transform relationships from the inside out.